Good evening. Thank you all again for being here, and congratulations, Pad. We could think of no one else we were rather honored tonight than you. And I just have to add that Moki used to work at the Southern Center for Human Rights, so you know we keep producing amazing, amazing justice champions. And so thank you. Thank you for all that you do. And thank you, Kels. Oh my God, so let me tell you this story. 2 weeks ago, our Public Policy Legislative Council saw Kels singing on Broad Street for free. And she took a video of her singing and this one guy just dancing all by himself. And I saw that video and I said, I could listen to her all day. She needs to sing at Justice Taking Root. And I said it kind of as a joke, but then I remember they said, you have not because you ask not. So we didn't think that we could get Kels, who has opened for Andre 3000 with 2 weeks' notice. But we asked anyway, and she said yes to us. So thank you, Kels. When Kels sings Rise Up, she gives voice to something we all hold inside of us. A quiet, steady insistence that no matter how heavy this world is, we will rise. Not just for ourselves, but for each other. That is the work that we have to do now. Rising again and again when the law is twisted and used against the vulnerable, when justice feels just out of reach, when hope is bruised but not broken, we must rise. We rise with courage, not because we are unafraid, but because we believe in something that is greater than fear. We believe in equality, dignity, and justice. And these times are testing our resolve, but that, in times like these, is when our rising matters most. And we do not rise alone. We rise with and for each other. So this moment we're in, it's hard. The attacks on the rule of law, the erosion of civil rights, the cruelty embedded in our criminal legal system, they are all real, and they are relentless. But guess what? So are we. We, too, are relentless. Because at the Southern Center, we've never had the luxury of despair. Courage is in our DNA. It's in the way that we stand beside people who've been discarded, but who refuse to give up. It's in the way that we speak truth in courtrooms, in state houses, and in our communities. We rise not because it's easy, but because it is necessary. And when I think about what courage looks like, I think about the Black women who raised me. I think about my civil rights heroines. Women who knew what it meant to stand on ground beneath them when the ground beneath them was shaky. Women who didn't wait for permission to fight for justice. Women who made a way out of no way. I carry their lessons with me every day. And I sometimes imagine, and I've been doing this all year, I sometimes imagine Rosa Parks sitting on that bus, waiting for the fallout from the stance she was taking by sitting down. I wonder if her knees shook. I wonder if she tapped her foot with nervous energy. I wonder what prayer she whispered. I wonder what song she hummed to herself. I wonder how she found the resolve knowing that she was walking into the lion's den, but confident that rather than be broken, she was going to break oppressive systems. Sometimes I wonder Sometimes I wonder what it's like to hear funny Lou Hamer walking down the hallway. I imagine her footsteps are steady and sure. I wonder what she felt like in her body, in her spirit, and in her soul when she cried, "I am sick and tired of being sick and tired." I wonder where she was when she knew deep in her bones that she had had enough. When she said to herself, "Nope, that's it. I won't endure this any further without a fight." And I don't know if I will win, but I do know that I will give this fight everything I've got. When I consider what is required for us in this moment, their courage is the first thing that comes to mind. And if you've ever asked yourself what you would have done back then, if you were in their shoes, the answer lies in what are you doing right now? Taking principled stands, that's easy when the stakes are low. But when everything you know could be threatened by your commitment to what is right and what is justice, taking that stand becomes immensely harder. We all must decide who are we going to be in this moment. And I can tell you, without hesitation, that the Southern Center will rise. We will rise and we will stand on our purpose. We will rise staying grounded in our mission because that is an act of hope. The spirit of the Ella Bakers and the Constance Baker Motleys and the Ida B. Wells, they live on. That spirit lives on in our team, in our clients, in our partners. It lives on in our team, and I would like for our team, the Southern Center for Human Rights staff, to stand or wave our hands so that everyone can see. Stand up, please. I feel like my team is being shy tonight because a lot of them did not stand up. We have a good number of folks in this crowd. However, those folks that you see in this crowd are warriors, and I am so proud of them. They're the people who sometimes through tears and disappointment vow to never give up fighting for the people they care about. I'm reminded of a particularly tough hearing we had where the lead attorney on one of our cases shed tears. I knew in those tears was a deep well of shared humanity and undeterred sense of justice. And in that moment when I watched him cry, I knew that this fight was just getting started, and I was so proud. Ella Baker's spirit lives in our clients, the true heroes of their own stories, the mothers who endure suffering but never give up hope of reuniting with their children, the sons who find the strength to endure because of the love of their mothers, the people who are persecuted because of their beliefs. My friend Jimmy Horton and his wife Addie are here tonight. Wave, Jimmy, wave, Addie. We met Jimmy when he was on death row, but his story did not start there, and it certainly did not end there. Jimmy is more than free. He is a testament to hope, to perseverance, to love, to strength, and to friendship. He's retired from working for a while, and he calls me every now and then just to check in. He calls me and he tells me what he's doing, and he asks me how I'm doing and how I'm holding up. And so when I say that this work is personal, these kinds of relationships is what I mean. Ida B. Wells' spirit lives in our partners. And as you've heard, our Justice Ally of the Year, PAD, is showing us what's possible when we lead with care, not punishment. And when it seemed that PAD's doors were being forced to close, as Tiffany mentioned, the community rose up. They said, and I didn't even know Tiffany was going to say this, they said, "Not in our name." And that's how you know that's exactly what they said. That kind of energy is the energy that we need today. It is a force to be reckoned with, and it is the kind of energy that will lead us through these dark times. We find hope in winning against all odds. Fighting uphill battles is what we do best. Just this year, we passed House Bill 123, a bill that changed the standard. Yes. It changed the standard of proof for people and provided procedural protections for intellectually disabled people facing the death penalty. This was a historic victory. It took years, it was years in the making, and it took the whole community to lift it up. It is a victory that will save lives. And I think about all those years it took for us trying to fight for this victory. And if we had given up then, we would never have seen this day. And so we are proud to fight these uphill battles, and we will fight them for as long as it takes. We also secured a major damages settlement for one of our clients who had been nearly neglected to death in Georgia's prison system. That settlement will provide the care he needs for the rest of his life, and importantly, it holds accountable the prison's account for its inhumanity. Each of these victories is a moment of us rising against all odds, against power, and against silence. And tonight, we celebrate another victory, the 10-year anniversary of Project Freedom. Project Freedom is a name that we've given to our resentencing project because freedom is its North Star. As you'll hear tonight, the project was born of a deep insistence that everything that is legal isn't just. When we began this work 10 years ago, we didn't know how we were going to challenge the extreme sentences we uncovered, but not knowing how to do it didn't stop us from trying. Mr. Wilmark Martin, who's here tonight, had long been advocating for himself, and we had the good fortune to be asked to join him. And together, we lit a spark that over the past decade has changed dozens of lives across communities in the South. Soon, the incredible Rose Scott will moderate a conversation with our first two Project Freedom clients, Mr. Martin and Mr. Scandrett, Charlie Scandrett, as well as the founders of Project Freedom, our Deputy Director, Atia Holly, and our Capital Litigation Director, Patrick Mulvaney. They will share their stories of perseverance, purpose, and joy. And before they come to the stage, I want to leave you with this. Hope is not naive. Hope is strategic. It is the fuel that powers justice work. And tonight in this room, I feel it. I see it in your eyes, in your presence, in your belief in us. You remind us that we are not alone. So yes, we will rise. We will rise for those of us who are still behind bars, for families torn apart by poverty and punishment, for the forgotten, for the silenced. And we will ask you, we invite you to rise with us, not just tonight, but tomorrow and the day after that and the day after that and the day after that. Because when we rise together, relentlessly, courageously, justice cannot be kept down. Thank you.